What's up and welcome to another episode of Gizmo Slip Tech. Today we're taking a look at the best RTX laptops that you can get under $2,000 or maybe just a hair over within $100 of $2,000. Now, of course, there are going to be links in the video description down below. The links to Amazon are affiliate links. The links to other websites are not. So if you do buy from Amazon, it does help support the channel, but don't feel like you have to. If there's a better deal on another website, get the best deal that you can. I do want to mention two quick things. First of all, I have not done full reviews on any of these laptops, so I am selecting these laptops purely based on specs, features, and price. So keep that in mind when I go through this list. And second of all, I want to mention that the RTX 2070 really performs well. You can see on this graph that the RTX 2070 in the Aorus 15 scored a 21,340 points in the Firestrike graphics score, which outperforms a lot of the GTX 1080s from last year and at a significantly reduced price. Now, this benchmark was provided to us by Gigabyte, so I don't know how much we can trust it necessarily. This might be the result of an overclocked benchmark. Overall, the RTX 2060 and 2070 seem to provide the best bang for the buck in the non-Max Q form factor, but of course it's going to be a little bit thicker if you get the non-Max Q. Of course, you can always go with the Max Q version. I do have one of those laptops in this list. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We've got the Evoc PB51EF. It has an i7-8750H, an RTX 2070 non-Max Q, 16 gigs of RAM, and we've configured it for a total price of $1,879 with a 128 gig SSD, as well as Windows 10. Now, depending on how you configure this on HID's website, but I've configured it like this because I feel like it's the base specs of what a good high-end performance laptop should have as a minimum. Now, the biggest pro for this laptop is that it is the cheapest full RTX 2070 laptop that I could find, and this is a very reasonable price for a full RTX 2070, only $1,879. Moving on to the Xotic PC. This is another Clevo-based chassis. This is the 16.1-inch display. This is the G67 HAWK, and again, it is quite a bit cheaper than other similarly spec'd machines. This one features an RTX 2070 Max Q, and it only weighs 4.6 pounds and is 0.78 inches thick. So this is your cheap, thin and light machine that is going to be very similar to something like a Razer Blade or an Aerial 15, at least in terms of its size and thickness and weight. But it's only $1,858, fully configured with 16 gigs of RAM and a 256 gig SSD. So this is certainly a great bang for the buck if you're looking for a super thin and light, super cheap laptop, at least for the money. The next option is the ROG Strix Scar 15.6 inch as well as a 17.3 inch. There's two versions. They have nearly identical specs. Let's go ahead and dive into it. It comes with the i7-8750H, 512 gig SSD, the RTX 2070 full non-Max Q, so no Max Q here. We've got two storage slots available, a 512 gig SSD as well as a 2.5 inch HDD drive that's currently empty that you can put a drive into if you want for cheap. So you can get a 2 terabyte for $100. Pop it in there and you'll have tons of storage space. Now, it does weigh 5.23 pounds and it's only 1 inch thin. Now, this has a very interesting rubberized material. Now, the model I did review was a HMD Evolution model with a repasted CPU, and it did have excellent temps on the CPU and GPU with a GTX 1070 from last year. So overall, it is one of my top recommended laptops for under $2,000, and I don't expect the 2019 model to change much at all here. It's going to be basically the same thing, but with an RTX 2070 instead of a GTX 1070. Most likely, though I do kind of want to do another review on the 2019 model to make sure. Now, the 17-inch version is typically priced at $2,000. There are some websites that are selling it for $2,100. So if you take a look around, you should be able to find it for $2,000. Last but not least, we have the Aorus 15. Now, this comes in two different flavors. You can get an RTX 2060 version for $1,800, or you can get a 2070 version for $2,100. Now, the Aorus 15, I did get to go hands-on with it at CES 2019, and it was very impressive. Good build quality, good keyboard, very minimal bezel design, very compact, only weighs 5.3 pounds and is 0.95 inches thin. But the great thing here is that it's thick enough that they can really put in a ton of heat pipes, and the bottom second half of the Aorus 15 is all ventilation. So my personal guess is the Aorus 15 should have really good thermal performance, especially for a laptop of its size. Now, Aorus did release a Firestrike graphics benchmark with the Aorus 15 in their unboxing review video. They claim that it reached 21,340 points, which is ridiculously good because that matches the performance of a GTX 1080 from last year, and that is a massive, massive improvement, especially considering some of the RTX 2080 Max Qs laptops are not even hitting close to that. I've yet to see an RTX 2080 Max-Q laptop even come close to that level of performance. Now the Aorus 15 features the i7-8750H, a 512 gig SSD, and a 2 terabyte HDD, of course the full RTX 2070 non-Max-Q. It has 2 M.2 slots and a 2.5-inch drive slot, as well as 16 gigs of memory. Out of all of these laptops, the two standout laptops I think really are the Strix Scar 2 2019 version, as well as the Aorus 15. I think both of those laptops, anyone that buys them will be extremely happy. They're nearly identical in terms of their size and weight, both weighing 5.3 pounds and being about an inch thick, and they both tend to have much better thermal performance than the ultra thin end lights. If you're looking for an RTX 2070 Max-Q graphics card, such as like a Razer Blade 15 or an Aero 15 or the GS65 Stealth, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit more than $2,000. That's why those are not on the list, because those are going to go in the under $2,500 laptop video. So there you have it. That is my top picks for RTX 2070 laptops under $2,000. There are links, of course, in the description for each of these laptops. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell. See you guys in the next one. Brandon out.